everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Working on Larry's Super EZ. This is the one that was noted to, the notes on the bench here. It was hard to start and wouldn't run real well at low speed. Well, by the time I was done fiddling with it, it wouldn't hardly run at all, which I'll explain that in a minute. Let's give it a test run and see if it's in as good a shape as I think it is now. Man, 3 pulls and running? That's not too bad. Now, granted, I ran it yesterday, but that's still 24 hours and 3 pulls. Means that carburetor's sealed up good and tight. So like I was saying, when I first got it out of the box, I checked spark, and it did have spark, but it was a little intermittent. And I thought, well, that's not good. Pulled the starter cover off. Figured I'd look at the wires and all that, just make sure there wasn't something shorting out. And there was enough debris and gook and junk and crap in here that I decided I'd take the flywheel off and clean it out really good. And when I got into the points box, I did find the points arm screw was loose. And I thought, well, alright, that's probably what my problem was. Well, ironically, I cleaned all that stuff up, replaced the points and condenser, because everything was oily enough that it just didn't want to go back in there. So I got it all cleaned up, got the flywheel gap to the coil perfectly, went to fire it up, and it actually was running worse. It was intermittent. It was I could get it to start, and then it would die pretty quickly, like it was losing spark. Well, every time I'd put my spark tester on there, I'd get a different result. That's when you almost certainly know that it is a wire somewhere, because if you've got strong spark 1 second and the next second it's just blah, nothing, you got something goofy going on. Well, I was so fixed on the making sure that the kill switch wire wasn't bad, and check the high tension lead in the coil. It was great. What I didn't notice, inspecting all the rest of the wire, you've got these grommets down here where it passes through. That's where this spark plug wire was broken, was right in the grommet itself. So you couldn't really tell until you really took that wire and bent it way over here, which is something you don't normally do. But I was doing that to try and get a better angle on my spark tester, and I saw that cracked insulation and went, wait a minute, and looked down in there, and the wire was actually rusty. So I don't think there were that many strands that were still making connection, so there was definitely a huge amount of resistance there. That's, in the end, what turned out to be the biggest problem for the saw. Everything else is in pretty good shape. I think Larry had already replaced that starter rope. Very little wear on the rim here. This thing is ready to rock and roll. So, Larry, I'm going to get the fuel drained out of this, get it boxed up, and get it heading your way again, and we'll chat about that other EZ, whether you want to get into it or not.